1969, 62. And what's the first time you both remember meeting?
Went down to have a look at the site of Yeti Ski Lodge with a number of other people. We drove down
including Carlos.
Yes. And we drove down on Friday night, as far as I remember, to a place called Sawpit. And we had to camp the night in Sawpit. And next morning, because I usually get up, or did then get up fairly early, I just went around and asked people if they'd like a cup of coffee, I think. And someone bleary-eyed looked up at me and said, yes, thank you.
And that was me.
Did you recognise Mum from before?
She told me I did, but I can't remember that.
Because I didn't recognise you,
I
so
didn't.
you must have told me this story about me taking your number earlier, but anyway.
And what do you remember as the first?
Okay, I remember that
I think
Carlos
you got the number under
had
false
suggested
pretences.
to John he might like to join this ski lodge, and as I had started skiing some years earlier and was looking for a club to join, my friend Paul had suggested that I might be interested in coming down. So,
But you knew
Carlos and Paul I knew because they were both members of this UN group. And John, I drove down in Paul's car, and you went down, I don't know, but anyway, as we had arrived in the wee small hours of the morning to Sawpit Creek, where there was a tent set up, rather than organise our bedding, I went to sleep in the back of Paul's car, and first thing next morning I was awakened by somebody tapping on the window, and it was Dad, and said, would you like a cup of tea? And I said, yes please, and got up. My recollections are we all as a group went off to look at the site. We communicated. There were probably 20 people all having a little look, children as well as adults. On the Sunday morning when we were going to come back to Sydney, Paul thought it'd be a good idea to go and look at this new village of Thredbo. So we went in that direction. John and the group he were with, they chose to stay on and do a little bit of skiing. There must have been some snow. And
what time of the year was this?
I think it must have been about May, early June, because there's definitely snow there. And fate took a hand in that, although we were coming back from Thredbo and they were coming from Perisher, we got somewhere near Jindabyne, each wanted to get petrol, and the two cars went to the same service station. And I can remember Dad coming to the car where I was sitting. I think Paul had gone in to pay for the petrol, and he came back and he said, I'm thinking of organising a ski weekend. Would you be interested? And he wrote down my phone number on the back of a bus ticket.
Where were you going on the bus?
I don't remember why you would have had a bus ticket.
I don't know why I would have had a bus ticket.
No.
I can never remember you being a big bus traveller.
No, I probably borrowed it from someone that had it in their pocket.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
It's a spare bit of paper.
So at this time, had you organised anyone else to go skiing?
No,
Just thinking the two of you?
no. Sort of.
I wasn't that sort of a girl. There was no way that I would have gone.
Get that group.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a group.
And he rang me the next night and suggested people who might like to come. And I think there were probably about 8 to start with, and then got down to 6. This is over a couple of weeks, and then it got down to 4, and then 2 days before we were due to go, he said there were just the 2 of us.
Is that your plan?
No, no.
I can remember saying, I said to him, well, the only way I would go would be if we stayed in one of the ski lodges. I did know some people who managed a lodge, Warragang, and so it was agreed that that would be our accommodation. And I can remember saying to the girls at work, I've got to drive all night with this fellow. I hardly know what we're going to talk about. I have no idea.
I didn't talk much at all. Didn't have to.
Thanks very much.
So had you... So between the service station...
Except she wanted to stop all the time.
I did. Well, some people do need toilet stops along the line, but then there's camels in this world who don't need them. But anyway.
So between the bus ticket and the phone number and going away for the weekend, did you see each other in between?
No, not at that stage.
So you hadn't seen each other for...
Wait on a minute. I think there was a Yeti meeting and you offered to pick me up.
So.
Oh, there was.
Oh, you might have been on the way.
Yes,
so
I think, okay, beg your pardon, there was going to be a meeting of this group and Dad suggested he might pick me up. He didn't say, do you want to come with me? It was a case of, well, I've got to pass your house on the way into the meeting, would you like to come? So we went to that meeting. And then it got closer and closer to the time to go away, and yes, we went away. And we had each agreed to take Monday off from work, and we went to... the weather was pretty poor for skiing, and we went out on the Saturday and on the Sunday. But Sunday was really, really bad, sloppy, wet snow. And I'd done a bit more skiing than Dad had done. And I'd ski so far and then he'd come down and crash at my feet. And this particular time I said to him, come on, get up, it's too cold to sit there. And he said, I would if I hadn't broken my leg. And I said, don't be silly. And he said, well, help me up. So I helped him up. And with that, he went click, 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 click. So